My name is Maria Isa, and I'm happy to be joining you as your new school nurse. As your new school nurse, I'll be helping you transition from the virtual learning environment back into the classroom on site. I'll be explaining what COVID-19 is, how it is spread, and ways we can prevent transmission. COVID-19 is short for the coronavirus disease from a novel strain that was discovered in 2019 that is known to cause respiratory distress, mild or severe in humans. Symptoms of COVID-19 include sneezing, coughing, fever or chills, shortness of breath, difficulty breathing, loss of taste or smell, vomiting, diarrhea, and body aches. COVID-19 is spread 3 ways: through droplets, contact, and airborne germs. Airborne germs mean that small, tiny particles that cannot be seen are able to travel and linger in the air and be inhaled via our respiratory systems. This is one of the reasons why COVID-19 is so highly transmissible, because these particles linger in the air even after a person has left the room. To prevent the spread of aerosols and droplets, it's important to cover your mouth at all times, including when talking, sneezing, or coughing. It's also important that we stay home when we feel sick and social distance 6 feet apart or more. It has been shown that people who do not distance 6 feet or more and are in closer proximity are more likely to be infected. The best defense against droplets is wearing a mask. When choosing a mask, ensure that your mask is made from a breathable fabric, is double layered, is washable or disposable, and does not have any air gaps or fit too loosely. Your mask should also cover your nose, mouth, and chin. It should not be worn here or here, but here. And keep in mind that your mask should have a nose wire or an elastic band so that it will fit more securely against your face. N95s and surgical masks should not be worn. These should be reserved for healthcare personnel only. The school will be providing cloth masks to each individual for each day that they are on site on campus. We will also be supplying disposable masks in case you forget yours or you wish to double mask. To double mask, you must have a disposable mask underneath your cloth mask. Remember, wearing masks is to keep our germs in and to keep others out. Do your part and wear a mask. Other than droplet spread, COVID-19 can also be spread through contact. Our best defense against contact spread is through frequent hand washing. Hand washing can be done with an alcohol-based sanitizer or with soap and water. When washing your hands, it is recommended that you use warm water, lots of friction, and wash for no less than 20 seconds. It is also important after you wash your hands that you avoid touching any unclean surfaces to avoid recontamination. When drying your hands, immediately leave the sink and then only use the clean paper towels with which to dry your hands. After that time, you'll open the door without retouching any door handles or surfaces. It is important to wash your hands when eating or drinking, before putting on your mask and when taking it off, and after touching frequently shared surfaces or items such as classroom supplies, office equipment, door handles, and stair rails. Although we have been out of the building for a long time and surely miss each other, it is important to avoid hugging, handshaking, and other close physical contact. However, elbow bumping should be fine.
Should I come to school if I feel sick or under the weather?
That's a great question. The only way that I would advise someone not to come to school when they feel sick is if they have a negative COVID test. Otherwise, we should err on the side of caution, because you can even be symptomatic and still be carrying the virus. So you should stay home, and even if you don't have any symptoms, you could have a fever, you should still stay home because fever or elevated temperature are still indicative of an infectious process.
Oh, thank you. I have another question though.
Sure.
Should I travel for spring break or throughout the school year?
We are currently advising all students and staff to keep their traveling to a minimum. If they do decide to travel, they have to quarantine 7 to 10 days after they return. To quarantine 7 days, you must have a COVID test taken 3 to 5 days after returning and remain at home until those 7 days are up, and it has to be negative. And if you don't take the test, you have to quarantine for 10 days at home and report any symptoms you have.
Oh, do I still have to wear a mask and practice social distancing even if I've been vaccinated?
Unfortunately, yes. Because vaccinations are not available to everyone, everyone doesn't have the same immunity you may have. Even if we've been vaccinated, we can still act as carriers of the virus and spread it to those who are still susceptible to the virus.
Thank you for that. And my last question, like we're finally done, is what should I do if I begin to feel sick after I'm already at school?
Great question. You should report your symptoms to the school nurse. If I'm not available, you can tell the school administrator. And we would then, if you are a student, have your parents come and get you within 45 minutes of report of symptoms. And if you are staff, we would ask that you tell school administration and proceed home. The nurse will do further follow-up and triage of your symptoms and further clear you when you can return to school. We'll be cleaning desks in between classes as a way to cut down on germs that cause COVID-19. There are 2 ways to do this: with disinfecting wipes or with disinfectant spray and paper towels. Allow me to demonstrate. In summary, the 3 types of precautions we can take to prevent the spread of COVID-19 include droplet, contact, and airborne. The actions that we can take include wearing a mask, washing our hands, cleaning commonly shared surfaces and areas, staying home when we're sick, and social distancing 6 feet apart.